أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. شهر رمضان الذي أنزل فيه القرآن هدى للناس وبينات من الهدى والفرقان، فمن شهد منكم الشهر فليصمه، ومن كان مريضا أو على سفر فعدة من أيام أخر، يريد الله بكم اليسر ولا يريد بكم العسر، ولتكملوا العدة ولتكبروا الله على ما هداكم ولعلكم تشكرون. وإذا سألك عبادي عني فإني قريب أجيب دعوة الداع إذا دعاني فليستجيبوا لي وليؤمنوا بي لعلهم يرشدون. صدق الله العظيم. Yesterday we did 184 of Surah Al-Baqarah, wherein we said one of the commands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that those that could fast but with difficulty, they could fast, however with difficulty. At that time they did not have to. However, that hukum, that command was abrogated. So which ayah abrogated it? It is this following ayah of 185, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says Shahru Ramadan, the month of Ramadan. Then the month of Ramadan is being introduced. الذي أنزل فيه القرآن, that month in which the Quran was revealed, meaning from the Lawh al-Mahfuz to the Sama'ud Dunya, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed it in one time down to the Sama'ud Dunya, and then from the Sama'ud Dunya to Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam over a span of 23 years. The very first starting in the famous incident of the cave, where Jibril alayhi salatu wasalam came to Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wasallam, and that entire hadith that we are aware of. So that is where the Quran Kareem started, and that night was, or that time was, the time of Laylatul Qadr, either that nuzul which happened to Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, or that which even came down to the Sama'ud Dunya. Rather, as we mentioned before, the other books of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, for example the Suhuf of Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam, or the Injil of Isa alayhi salatu wasalam, the Torah sent to Musa alayhi salatu wasalam, ulama mentioned based on the hadith of Musnad Ahmad. There's a riwayah, there's a narration in Musnad Ahmad giving different dates of the month of Ramadan, which these other books of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala were also revealed. So this shows that the month of Ramadan and the books from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, not just the Quran Kareem, but other books of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they have a very deep connection. Hence, we should also behave in that manner, as we mentioned before in our Ramadan prep workshop before Ramadan, how Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam, the Sahaba radiallahu anhum, and the ulama, the successors that followed thereafter, how the ummah in general held on to the Quran Kareem very firmly throughout, obviously, the ages, but especially when it came to the month of Ramadan, how much dedication was given towards the recitation of the Quran Kareem, the teaching, the learning of the Quran Kareem in this month of Ramadan. If you remember, in our Ramadan workshop we had mentioned that the Imams such as Imam Shafi'i rahimahullah, how many Qur'ans would he finish in the month of Ramadan? Anyone remembers? 30? No, 60, double of that. 61 rather, 60 outside of Salah, 1 in Salah, which is through Taraweeh. So 61 Qur'ans, that is an example of one Imam. Other Imams, some would finish in 2 days, they would finish 1 Qur'an, some in 3 days. The point is that there was much dedication throughout our history given to the Quran Kareem. So obviously, why? Based on the ayah of the Quran Kareem, how is the Quran, how is the month of Ramadan being introduced? What's the description being given? الذي أنزل فيه القرآن. That already shows there is such a deep connection. هدى للناس وبينات من الهدى والفرقان. Now what is the primary objective of the Quran Kareem? هدى للناس. There is guidance in this for people, for humanity. Right? Not just once you accept Islam and once you believe there is guidance for you only then, but rather it can show humanity the direction. World problems, global problems, people, our legacy, our Quran Kareem has the answer to global problems also, in whichever field it may be. In whichever discussion it may be, Islam has to be part of that dialogue if people want khair and goodness for themselves. Hudan linnas. وَبَيِّنَاتٍ مِنَ الْهُدَى وَالْفُرْقَانِ. And there are clear signs in this Quran Kareem, or the Quran Kareem points out towards clear signs of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, towards existence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and every aqidah that we hold and we believe in. مِنَ الْهُدَى وَالْفُرْقَانِ. And the Quran Kareem is also a criterion. Furqan meaning that which distinguishes between haqq, between the truth, and batil, which is falsehood. Now coming to the command of the month of Ramadan, what is to be done? فَمَنْ شَهِدَ مِنْكُمُ الشَّهْرَ. Whoso amongst you witnesses the month of Ramadan, الشهر, the month, meaning obviously referring to Ramadan because it was introduced in the beginning of the ayah, the Shahr Ramadan. So فَمَنْ شَهِدَ مِنْكُمُ الشَّهْرَ, whoever witnesses this month, meaning whoever is alive and whoever is in the state of Iman, he believes, that person is mature, that person is sane, and they're able to fast, then فَلْيَصُمْ, then they must fast it. The previous ayah, as we said, that which was abrogated was what? That even if you can, وَعَلَى الَّذِينَ يُطِيقُونَهُ, if you can but with some difficulty, then they did not have to fast. So this ayah of the Quran Kareem abrogates that. That whoever, as long as they are aqil, baligh, they are sane and they are mature and they are believers, then they have to be fasting in this month of Ramadan. فَمَنْ شَهِدَ مِنْكُمُ الشَّهْرَ فَلْيَصُمْ, then they have to fast. How about if someone is sick? وَمَنْ كَانَ مَرِيضًا, if someone is sick, as we said yesterday, sickness refers to that sickness which becomes a deterrent for fasting. So we gave an example, a slight headache. It doesn't mean a person says, I'm marid, I'm sick now, but it's that type of marad, it's that type of sickness which becomes a deterrent, and a person cannot fast because of that. وَمَنْ كَانَ مَرِيضًا أَوْ عَلَى سَفَرٍ, or a person is traveling. As far as traveling is concerned, one question many people have, and one issue that needs to be clarified, is that a person needs to be in the state of being what we call a musafir, a traveler. Not that a person has intent to travel. So for example, a person has a flight to catch tomorrow, being another day of Ramadan. If a person has a flight to catch tomorrow at 11 a.m., for example. So that doesn't mean a person will say, okay, I have a flight now at 11 a.m. I don't have to fast the rest of the day. That today I will not fast. Why? Because I have an upcoming flight. That person who is, and you can ulama extract this from the ayah of the Quran Kareem, أو على سفر, a person is already in the condition of safar, of a person is already traveling, not that a person intends to travel. So say for example, a person needs to take a flight at 11 o'clock. So for this day, they do have to fast. They should get up for their suhoor as normally they would, and they have their suhoor. Now say for example, a person starts their travel, it's 11, a person boards a flight. As he's flying, he's feeling nauseous because he didn't have water, for example. Now a person can break it. Why? Because he is in the condition of safar and he is unable to continue with this in a healthy state. Now a person has a choice. Obviously to finish a person's sawm and fasting in the month is obviously better, but a person now has this choice. So this is a very important point to keep in mind. So what should a person do if a person is marid, they cannot fast, or they are traveling and that is becoming a deterrent? فَعِدَّةٌ مِنْ أَيَّامٍ أُخَرٍ, then any other days. Yani outside the month of Ramadan, then a person can fast any other days. Whether it's consecutively, whether it's not, whether it's shorter days, whether it's longer days, there is no specification of that. However, obviously a person should make, because nobody knows how long we're living for, we don't know how long we will be alive. Rather, that's why it's very important that a person tries to make up the qada fast as possible, just as like your salawat, the salahs that we've missed. فَعِدَّةٌ مِنْ أَيَّامٍ أُخَرٍ. Now this hukum, this command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, being giving us the chance that outside of the month of Ramadan, if you're unable to fast, or if a person was traveling, this ability, this chance of making qada, although it's obligatory, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that يُرِيدُ اللَّهُ بِكُمُ الْيُسْرَ. The very first thing a person should understand, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala intends ease for you. Meaning in the obligation of qada, there is ease for a person. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala didn't say that no matter whatever circumstance, come high or low, whether it's whatever it may be, a person has to fast. Rather, the Sharia has kept it easy for a person, that if you cannot fast right now, then you can fast later. So see which context the ayah is saying, يُرِيدُ اللَّهُ بِكُمُ الْيُسْرَ, that ease is intended for you in fulfilling the command. Fulfilling the command is part of ease, right? Many of us, or many people rather, have a misunderstanding that ease in deen means what? Not to fall upon deen. It's very easy, don't follow this. It's very easy, don't pray. It's very easy, don't fast. Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam, Sahaba radiallahu anhum, can you imagine, just put yourself in this situation that, alhamdulillah, many of us have visited the holy lands of Makkah, Medina, and you know what the heat, how hot it gets over there, right? Over 100 degrees. We feel hot when we go there, and we have ACs in the hotels, AC, alhamdulillah, even in the Haramain. Now imagine a time where there were no ACs, right? Where there was difficulty of getting water also, and that level of hotness. That's how hot it was. It used to be very, obviously, just as it is hot right now, it used to also be hot like that. It wasn't colder before. Despite that, the Sahaba radiallahu anhum were given the command of what? كُتِبَ عَلَيْكُمُ الصِّيَامِ, that you have to be fasting. Now that understanding, the understanding which is becoming very popular, that there is ease in deen, hence a person doesn't have to fast. How would you apply that to the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam? That this ease, what does ease mean in deen? What the point I'm trying to drive is, what do you mean by there is ease in your deen? That there is easiness. If someone can very well say that I don't think it's easy to be fasting without ACs when it's 103 degrees. That is fard for a person to fast. Most people, if you ask them that you can't have water for the next 14-15 hours and it's more than 100 degrees and you're not living in an AC environment, is that easy or is that hard? Well, most people answer that's pretty hard. I would think that's pretty hard, right? Despite that, the Sahaba, it was fard upon them to fast. What does it mean by deen is easy? Deen is easy means it's something which can be done. It's not impossible. Will there be some difficulty along the way? Yes, there is. There will be, right? Anyone who's gone for Hajj, those that have been there for Hajj, they will tell you that it was pretty tough. It wasn't the easiest of situations. It wasn't the easiest trip that they took in their life. Despite that, it was fard on them. So what do you mean by it was easy? Meaning it can be done. It's not humanly impossible for a person to do these things. So the deen that we have, that's already the easy deen. The deen that you have that has been passed down, that is the easy, that is the deen with yusr. So it wasn't that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent these ahkam down. Now the ayahs also revealed that there is ease for you. So now Muslims have this choice. Now let's take out what we consider to be easy and not easy. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave so many commands. Now let us sift between what is easy and what's not easy. That's not what it is. What the deen means, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us ease, that there is ease in the deen, that what we already have, that is easy. 5 salah are easy. To pray 5 salawat, that is easy. A person won't say that 5 for me is too difficult, subh sadiq, summertime is too hard. Okay, let's make amal upon the ayah, make it easy, 4 salahs for me, or 3 salahs for me. Or once I wake up at 8 o'clock, then I'll pray my fajr salah, right? That's a construed and a misunderstanding that many people have regarding their deen. So what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given, what the Sunnah has already established, what the Quran Kareem has already highlighted, that in itself is easy. And easy means what? That it can be done, that humanly it is possible. يريد الله بكم اليسر ولا يريد بكم العسر. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala didn't make difficulty upon us in this, that those that were sick and they were unable. Now over here, people that are sick, they're unable to do it. Then obviously it would have been difficult, meaning in the Shari'i terminology, difficult also for to make it necessary upon these people to fast. So hence the Sharia didn't make it necessary upon them. وَلِتُكْمِلُوا الْعِدَّةِ, and so that you may complete the days. Meaning the Quran Kareem is saying that there is a hikmah, there is a wisdom in making it wajib, in making it necessary. Wajib meaning fard, wajib meaning necessary, although we categorize it as fard. That making it necessary for a person to complete the fast or make up the fast later. لِتُكْمِلُوا الْعِدَّةِ, so that you can also complete the same amount of days. Meaning the Quran Kareem is saying that if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was not to make the qada of Ramadan wajib, of fard, then many people would say, because you don't have to do it, you won't do it. So even in this necessity, in making it fard, there is khair upon the ummah, that a person still will get some barakah of the fasting, right? We can very easily see for ourselves when it comes to our own a'mal, our own actions, that those things which are fard, obviously we complete them, and a person is more inclined towards doing those. rather than doing those things which are optional. This is obvious. This is human psyche also. If you have to do something, you'll do it. If you're given a choice, usually a person will slacken it. So that's what the Quran Kareem is saying, that there is hikmah in this, there is khair and there's goodness for a person in this also, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made it necessary that you finish the days of Ramadan if you were not able to complete it during the month, that you make qadha of it. وَلِتُكْمِلُوا الْعِدَّةِ وَلِتُكَبِّرُوا اللَّهَ عَلَى مَا هَدَاكُمْ, and so that you may continue glorifying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for that hidayah which He has given you, وَلَعَلَّكُمْ تَشْكُرُونَ, and so that you may be thankful and show your gratefulness towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and show your gratitude towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, again for giving us that chance to fast, and shukr also for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala making it obligatory to force us also to do this act for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We'll stop here inshallah, and tomorrow we'll continue with the next ayah.